Hey everybody, it's Scott from ScottOnTheNet, and I'm here at Toronto BJJ. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Toronto. The main reason that I'm here today, well, I'm going to get in a little bit of training, going to put the gi on, but the main objective is to try and get an interview with Mr. Tommy Beach, who is our purple belt instructor and also our world champion. So come on inside with me and we'll hook up this interview. Catching up with one of my good friends from Toronto BJJ. I'm one of my instructors as well. Tommy Beach, how are you doing, sir?
Not too bad, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. Now, the reason that I've got you here today, Tommy, is because you're having quite a meteoric rise through the ranks, and you're one of our competition team, and you're seemingly mowing all of the competition down at both the local tournaments and the international tournaments. So I really just wanted to highlight some of the things that you've been doing, and just find out what your plans are for the next few months, maybe for the rest of the year, and see what the plans are for Mr. Beach. So let's have a quick recap, Tommy. It's been a busy 2 years for you. It really started to take off in about 2009. So what successes did you have in 2009?
Mainly with 2009, it was the only thing off the top of my head would be the blue belt worlds in the gi, and I came away with the gold, which was really, really good. So that's the only thing I can think for 2009 off the top of my head, but that was good. And
then we roll then into the end of 2009. You get your purple belt.
Yeah.
So currently, right now, you're a purple belt, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So then we start off 2010, and we're a few months into it, and we've obviously moved into the competition season now again.
Mm-hmm.
We've had the Abu Dhabi Pro Trials, and we've had the New York Open, and so how did you do in those competitions?
The trials, fortunately I came away with the victory and got to go to the World Pro, which went really well. Good experience, and I made it to the quarterfinals. Lost to the eventual winner, Claudio Calasanz. It was a lot of fun, and also fortunately at the New York International I got away with the gold, and that was fun as well.
So you've already struck gold then twice this year at the trials and the New York Opens. So before we move on, because you're obviously going to be going down to the Mundials, I guess.
Yeah. In a few weeks.
In a few weeks. So before we just before we get to Mundials, I'd like to learn a little bit about the Abu Dhabi experience, and that was your first time competing on such a stage, I would imagine.
Other than Worlds. But it definitely was a different level. It was a lot higher, so it was the cream of the crop guys over there. So it was
and what did you find was different, in Abu Dhabi than just some of the North American grappling tournaments that you've taken part in?
There, because it's the purple, brown, black, and those people had to qualify, or the majority did. So the level, you can just see the quality of jiu-jitsu and how high level it is. I mean, everybody's in phenomenal shape. Everybody's very good technically, and everybody's ready to go.
Well, what did you do to prepare yourself for something like that?
I do a lot of physical training with actually a guy named Kurt from the club here. He's doing a great job with me, and it's really made a big difference. And of course, just training all the time.
So, how often are you training right now?
Every day. And sometimes twice a day, and sometimes also physical training.
And then you have your responsibilities here as well as an assistant, one of the instructors here at the gym as well. So what sort of classes do you run as well?
Right now, just Sundays and Mondays I'm teaching, as well as sometimes other filling in classes and assisting George and Eduardo.
So you can hear this guy's already super busy right now. Now, how old are you right now, Tommy?
21.
And how long have you actually been studying jiu-jitsu for?
Right about 2 years.
Yeah, so this is the part that gets me and a lot of other people as well. I was very fortunate to see Tommy because I was here a few months before him, and it's really been something to witness your local tournaments, the amount of work you've been putting in, the style of jiu-jitsu that you practice as well is still very traditional, right?
Yeah, I think the basics are always the best. So
yeah,
standard guard and arm bars and whatnot.
Yeah. So you find that works for you more than trying more advanced techniques, or is there a specific reason why you prefer to stick to the basics, or?
I think that I prefer it just because it works, And you never know with that fancy stuff. There's always these ifs and ands and buts and whatnot.
My flying fail bar at Abu Dhabi trials.
It was pretty good. You were close.
A little bit close. So now you're going to be hitting Worlds this year, and that's taking, I think, in like 3 weekends or so from now. Is it 3 or 4 weekends from now?
About, I think, 3 weekends. Yeah.
So
it's
in June. So you are competing in which division?
Male Pasado, so medium heavy.
Right. And so obviously then you're going for gold in that.
Cross my fingers, I'll try my best.
Now what about doing the absolute division? Because have you done any absolute divisions or anything yet?
I haven't participated in a lot of absolutes. I was actually going to do it at the New York International, but from fighting Calasanz at the World Pro in the quarterfinals, he ended up bending my fingers back, whether it was intentional or not, and I decided that it was in quite a bit of pain, so I didn't do the absolute, which maybe if I was a little tougher, I could have done. But
so you're planning on doing the absolutes at Worlds?
At the Worlds, if I'm successful in the weight, I think I'll probably go for the absolute. Try and be a little tougher this time.
So how do you feel, with the level of success that you're reaching right now, and what do you think are some of the keys to your success?
Well, I think that the key is just to train every day and be consistent. I think a lot of people focus on the secret techniques and all that type of stuff, but I think, like our professor George says, is just hard work and mat time. So if you're training all the time, you're probably going to do well.
So you obviously have a significant amount of skill now on the ground. Do you plan on moving, on starting to cross train and striking, or getting into like MMA, or are you content right now just thinking, you know what, it's just about the jiu-jitsu right now?
I'm gonna definitely try and keep my focus on jiu-jitsu, but after Worlds, maybe cross training a little bit more. I've done a bit in the past, but always focusing on jiu-jitsu, and then we'll see where things go.
Yeah. Now, are you planning on taking part in? There's a lot of competitions coming up in Toronto. Are you going to be still taking part in the local scene, or how does that work
absolutely.
out for you now?
Just really depending on what Professor George says, what he wants us competing at, and then I'll just see what he says and just go with it.
Now, as well, are you planning on going to Brazil? Because it seems to be that a lot of guys like yourself, you're young, you're getting a lot of success in tournaments. Then they seem to take themselves off to Brazil for a time. To get some, training right from the source. Not that we do not have it right from the source here, because we have Professor Brito, which is a Hoyler Gracie Salvador black belt, and we also have Dudu here as well. But is that your plans to maybe go down to Brazil and experience some of the training down there?
Well, I think at Toronto BJJ we got amazing training partners, and it's a huge school, amazing professor, and of course Eduardo too. But still, I think I'm going to go to Brazil. I think it'd be a fun experience as well. I really want one of George's professors, Vinny Ayeta. I really want to train under him, so I think that'd be great. So definitely going to go down to Brazil. Is there in Gracie Tijuca, and I would love to go there. Fortunately, I've been able to go to San Diego and train with Salo and Shanji before, which was incredible. But I'm always happy just training here at Toronto BJJ because we have tons of students and lots of great training partners.
So before we wrap up the interview, do you want to say thanks to anybody, or do you want to give any kudos to anybody?
Of course, Toronto BJJ, a great sponsor and team and academy. So thank you. Thanks to Josh Report. Thank you, my teachers, Professor George and Eduardo, and all my teammates here at Toronto BJJ. Thanks so much. Sponsors for the gi, OTM, and supplement sponsor Sijin, and that's about it. I think.
It's getting hooked up. Getting hooked up. Well, Tommy, listen, it's I just want to say thanks very much for taking just a couple of minutes out of your day to speak with me. It's been a pleasure. I hope that we can check in maybe after Mundials and see how it's gone for you. And again, we have the George Brito camp coming up in Rio in July. We have Grappler's Quest. Are you going to be taking part in Grappler's Quest in October?
I hope so. As much as possible for tournaments.
Yeah, which is the Canadian one actually as well. And then there's Salvo Habero's Invitational as well in October. So you probably have a pretty tournament schedule for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, well listen dude, I wish you all the best. It's a pleasure to train with you and under you, especially whenever I come to one of your classes. If you can, come and take one of Tommy's classes. We're here at Toronto BJJ every Sunday from 1 until 3 o'clock. You go over some technique and then there's a lot of free sparring as well. So yeah. So that's it. Thomas Beach, check him out. Definitely making the ripples here in the Canadian Jiu-Jitsu scene, and I hope that all you guys maybe have an opportunity to come and train under this guy, because it's always a pleasure and it's always a blast. So thanks very much, Thomas.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Peace.